What is your name?
My name's Z.
Don Davis.
Cliff Crane, J. Philip R. Ed Craig.
How would you invest right now? Even though there's inflation, what is one thing you spend money on? What would be your best tip for building wealth? If you had $100,000 today in cash, what would you invest it in? Do you have any tips for entrepreneurship? What advice would you give to someone who's just starting out on their investing journey?
Look for long term.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. So today we're out here in the beautiful coast of Southern California. We'll be asking millionaires for investing advice. I've always wondered how these millionaires invest during market downturns, so we'll be asking them today. Let's go. Hi, so what is your name and what do you do for a living? So what's your name and what do you do for a living, man?
My name's Z. I have a home design company.
Could you expand a little bit more on how you got started in that?
Started on Instagram. We put a picture of our own house up, and then people start hitting us up like, hey, where do you get this? Where'd you get this? And then one lady said, do you design homes? And next thing you know, we're like, yeah, we design homes. Why not?
Can I ask a range of how much you make per year doing your business?
Quite a lot. Over 500.
Would you have any advice for someone who wants to get into what you do as a career?
I mean, if they have a passion for it, if they enjoy, I mean, pretty much you gotta do what you enjoy doing, right? So don't just get stuck on, okay, what makes you money? What's gonna make you money is what you enjoy doing. If you're just stuck on, okay, this makes money, let me go into, I was forced to go into the medical field because I'm Indian, doctor.
Right.
You're not gonna enjoy it, you're not gonna make money.
Right.
I've seen so many doctors, they went through 10 years of schooling and then they're not even practicing. So don't do that. Find what you like doing and excel at that. Whether it's homes, cars, it's whatever you enjoy doing.
Do you have any investments right now that you're
Homes.
currently in?
Homes.
So all real estate?
Yeah.
Cool.
We take properties, we design them,
Okay.
and we always have the hookup to design them and to get all the materials and whatnot, and then we flip them.
Obviously there's a market downturn right now in the stocks and real estate. How would you invest right now?
Right now, I would hold on to your money. That's what I would do. So right now, I'm not investing in anything. Whatever I have passive income rental-wise, that's what I'm holding on to, but that's about it. Yeah, right now is not the time to invest.
Let's say you had $100,000 cash right now, you still wouldn't invest?
I would once the market goes down a little more. I'm waiting for that. It's gonna go down more. Like cars are going down, homes are going down. It's gonna get worse. So once that happens, that's when you start scooping it up.
What would you buy?
Buy another home. It's proven to work, so don't need to change it up.
If you had to start from scratch today and had to make $1 million starting today, what would you do?
So my passion is to actually have my own shop where I can mod cars. So what I did, and to go into all these shops, just shows it's so much fun. You get to see all these multi-million-dollar cars and you get to do stuff to it. People leave happy, it sounds good, it goes faster. That's the new obsession. So maybe that would be the next thing to go to.
What's the best investment that you ever made?
Probably my house back in '05. Yeah, that was my dad's idea. I was blowing money on cars back in the day too. And he's like, invest in something that gives you a return. Cars don't give you returns. Well, other than last year when cars were actually going up in value. But he's like, invest your money in something that's gonna give you a return. And yeah, till this day, still get rental income from that.
Despite inflation, what is one thing you're still spending money on?
Car parts every day. I have a cracked windshield, but instead of fixing that, I got carbon fiber on my roof.
If you had one money mistake that you made in your career, what would that be?
Knock on wood, I haven't made a huge mistake where I regretted it.
So what would be your best tip for building wealth?
Best tip for building wealth. I mean, it's a lot of hard work. There is a little bit of a luck to it too, the right place at the right time. A lot of it was good timing for us too, and it just happened to work out. Find a niche, and then, preparation, work hard, and a little bit of luck, and you'll be good.
What advice would you give to someone who's just starting out on their investing journey?
Look for long term. So anything that you think is giving you a return soon versus later, don't base your judgment off of that. If it's gonna give you a long-term return too, look at the longer picture. When I was 18, at 29, that was my goal. At 30, I should be set. So I'm 29, long-term, it paid off, right? So I'm not looking for the 18 by 20. It could happen again, right? It could happen. And these days, there's a lot of ways to make money. It's a lot easier, I would say, now than before. But keep that long picture in mind. Don't have tunnel vision, essentially, yeah.
Appreciate your time, man.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
No worries.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time again. So what is your name and what do you do for a living?
Cliff Crane, and I'm semi-retired.
What did you do before?
Engineering.
When you were still working? How much did you make per year?
Well, I own the company, and it has about 60 employees.
Wow. You're a business owner.
Yes.
Right now, the stock market's not doing well and the markets are all on the downturn. How would you invest? Or have you been investing at all?
I just invest in my business is all.
Do you still run businesses at the moment?
But yes,
Can I ask what type of businesses?
industrial security.
What would be the best investment you ever made in your life?
Probably my wife. I got married about 8 years ago, and that's the best thing happened to me.
Would you have any advice for someone who wants to start a business?
Learn the trade where you go into it, and then know the business, how the business is done, and then jump in with both feet and work about 18 hours a day. Try that for a few years. And
If you had to start today and make $1 million, how would you do it?
I would invest in the market, probably gold and silver at this point in time, but could vary a couple of years. It might be it's not going to be important.
What would be some advice for some people that are just starting out in the investing world?
Get a good financial advisor and stick with them.
And if you had $100,000 today, what would you invest it in?
My companies, help the companies grow faster.
Do you have any tips for entrepreneurship?
Learn the trade of something that you're good at and then save your money. Get enough capital to start up. No matter how small it is, it can grow if you have a good idea.
Cliff, it was so nice to meet you. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for your time. So, what is your name and what do you do for a living?
My name is Ed Craig, and I am a part-time actor.
You're a part-time actor. How did you get into acting?
I retired from the automotive industry about 5 years ago. I've got a couple older cars, a Volkswagen bus, a Volkswagen Beetle, and a Squareback, and they were looking for a bus for a TV show, Animal Kingdom. I did the show, had a great time, so I registered with a casting company and I started working right away. And I've been doing this for 5 years now. I worked last week on Quantum Leap with my bus, and I've been on quite a few TV shows.
Could you tell us some TV shows you were on?
Quantum Leap, Minx. I was on there quite a few times. One Day She'll Darken, which was a mini-series of Chris Pine. I've done Ballers.
Would you have any advice for someone who wants to get into what you do right now?
Yeah, I would say look into it. Register with a casting company. They post what's available daily. There's quite a bit of work out there. It's a pretty full market with people trying to get into, but I mean, I was in my 60s and I figured I'd work 2 or 3 times a year, and I started working 2, 3, 4 times a month. So it's definitely possible.
You mentioned that you retired from the automotive industry. How did you get to that point where you were financially stable enough to retire?
Just planned ahead and saved as much as I could, and I retired at 64. In hindsight, I wish I would have retired sooner because I really enjoy what I'm doing now. And I came in one day to work and I go, I think I'm done. I enjoyed working in the auto industry. I still do because I like cars, obviously, but I really enjoy what I do now. When you retire, it's kind of a chance to reinvent yourself. I never thought I'd be in the TV or in movie industry. It's really fun, extremely different from my past life, so I'm enjoying it.
Would you be able to share a range of how much you made before you retired in the automotive industry?
100K range.
Any tips on someone who's just starting out on investing or saving for retirement?
Yeah, I would say throw as much as you can in your 401k. That's probably the best way of going.
Did you have any other investments than your 401k?
I have some stocks.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you had to make $1 million starting from today, what would you do?
Boy, that's a good question. I know a lot of people are making money online, so that seems like a good way of going.
If you had $100,000 today in cash, what would you invest it in?
Oh, I'd probably buy another car. I like cars a lot.
Would you have any specific car you're looking at?
Porsche. There's a certain model of Porsche that I was looking for. It was a limited edition RS60 Boxster. They only imported 800 of them, and so it's kind of a cool car.
Okay. What would be the best investment that you ever made in your life?
Probably my old VW. They've skyrocketed. That was probably the biggest increase for what I paid for them to what they're worth now.
Despite inflation, what is something you're still spending money on?
Cars. I gotta stop though.
If you knew you could never fail at anything, what would you try?
Flying an airplane. It'd just be fun. I like mechanical stuff. I like planes. That'd be fun. I have a fear of heights. It's not as bad in a plane as going up a ladder, but I still have a fear of heights. And of course, I worry about the mechanics of it. You know, a car breaks down, you pull over the side of the road. Plane breaks down, you crash. But if it wasn't gonna fail, I'd definitely do that.
Perfect. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Appreciate
Have a good
it.
one. Thank
Yeah, you too.
Hi, so what is your name and what did you do for a living?
Don Davis, and I'm retired.
What did you do before?
Well, I used to build these things, commercial landscaping for a while. I've done a little number of things.
How did you get into all of those things?
I've just been interested in cars since high school and been building cars since high school, so
How much does this car go for?
near $500 million.
How did you financially get to that point where you were able to retire?
Just quit working. Seriously, I quit when I was 49.
Did you have any investments back then?
Some, yeah, so I've never done with a damn in the stock market. Whatever I buy, short it.
If you had to say your best investment that you've ever made, what would that be?
My GT40,
Why is that?
because I bought it for $1,000 and sold it for 1.38 mil.
Wow, okay.
I mean, seriously.
That's great. If you had $100,000 today in cash, what would you invest it in?
I try and find myself a fixer-upper exotic car because you're going to make a boatload of money on that. You just really are. It's hard to find a fixer-upper exotic car because people who are smart have already bought them, or they're buying them up as soon as they can get them. You can make a lot of money doing that.
If you had to start from scratch today and had to make $1 million, what would you do?
Buy a fixer-up exotic car and rebuild it. I'm serious. I mean, that's a good way to go. Anything in the electric car market and clean air is going to be good money too. That's why I bought Tesla.
Despite inflation right now, what is one thing you're still spending money on?
I'm really not. Right now, I kind of have my horns pulled in. I'm not spending much money on anything right now.
So nothing.
Yeah, really. Right now, with the market the way it is, yeah, nothing. Real estate is good, but right now it's too expensive. It's just too volatile right now. I wouldn't go there. But these things, if you can find something that needs a little help, and if you've got the skills to be able to do it yourself, you're going to make a nice living doing that.
What would be your best tip for building wealth?
Again, investing in something you know, and then you can put some money into and make money with it. The real estate market is down, buy a house. You put 10% down, make your money on the full price of the house, and deduct the interest off your income. Hard to beat that.
What is one regret you have in life?
Should have married my current wife earlier. I wouldn't have gone through so many.
Thank you so much for your time.
Okay, thanks.
What is your name and what do you do for a living, sir?
Well, my name is Jay Philippar. Now, I do electrical engineering.
How much would someone doing what you do make per year?
Well, it depends. There again, it depends on the kind of work you're doing. But electrical engineering, when you work as a contractor, beginning you might be at 80 to 100,000 a year, and then if you really specialize, 400,000 a year. You have to specialize in something that most other people really wouldn't have the expertise at doing.
How did you get to the point where you could afford that?
Well, it was easy. I took a second mortgage on my home, and back then money was available at a good price, and I had a lot of equity in the home.
What would be one piece of advice for someone who wants to build their wealth?
I'm a very hard worker. I've been mowing lawn since I've been 11 years old, and right now at my job I work 6.5 days a week. I think hard work and learn a skill and perfect it. Be the best in your class, in other words. That's what I do with my engineering. I work very hard at it. So I just tell people work hard, and even if it's a skill like being a welder or a cabinet maker, if you get good at that craft, it makes you more valuable. So that's the advice I would give some people.
Even though there's inflation, what is one thing you spend money on?
I'd probably go out to eat less. I like going out to eat, but I'm a pretty good cook. I spend a little less money now.
Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.
Best luck to you guys.
Thank you. That's it for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you guys found some value from these millionaires and their advice. If you haven't already, don't forget to smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, and turn on those post notifications for future videos. As always, your life is a masterpiece, so let's unlock that full financial potential together. Catch you guys in the next video. Peace.